Good morning, Las Vegas. How are you today? How are we feeling? Right now, you are listening to Sumnu in the Valley. My name is Kasia Wilson, and I'm here with
Amaya Eden.
And we have a wonderful show for you guys today. We have a great guest talking about clean energy and how we can be sustainable in today's day and time. But first, let's get into our first segment of the show, which is Sumnu on the scene. So we got a lot going on. Sumnu is all over the valley, hence the name Sumnu in the Valley. And I just wanted to say that today's our groundbreaking. Yes! And we can get more into that later, but it's a very exciting time, and it just shows that, we're here 20 years down, and it's just, it's a great milestone.
Absolutely.
For our company and all the things. But on top of that, we are attending another groundbreaking that's happening at Marble Manor, April 9th. It's going to be early in the morning, and it's just, more growth in the community.
Yes.
There's a lot of great things happening in the area. And on April 18th, if you're familiar with the historic West Side School and the CSN Wet Sea campus, they're having a community kickoff on Saturday, April 18th. Everyone is invited, and it's going to be a great time to just come together, fellowship with one another, but also get some valuable resources and information if you're trying to find a job or find ways to learn a new skill to get employment. Come out to this event. We're here, the sole purpose is to provide resources to the community. So we're having that's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And at the same time, in the neighborhood, next door, the historic West Side School, there is going to be a kinship cookout. This is the third one this year?
Yes, it'll be for Black Maternal Health Week.
Yes, Black Maternal Health Week. And, because that's April. Yes, obviously. But yes, the same day, same time. And, do you want to talk more about just the value of that event and why it's important?
Yes, it's just shining light on the birth for Black women, and Tierra Flynn, she is hosting that event, and there'll be some resources there. They're going to have time during the event where they're going to take a walk in honor of Black women and Black mothers, and just having a safe, bringing light to doulas that create that safe space for Black women to give birth. And I wish I had that when I was having children, but I'm done now, so. And don't do that. But in honor to that, that's a great event to support, and just come out and be a part of the community supporting this cause.
Yeah, it's very important to just even spread awareness about it, because I don't think a lot of people even know how important that is to just get educated for Black maternal health, because they get neglected a lot in the healthcare system. And lastly, I would like to share about what CCSD has going on. So if you haven't heard in the news and things like that, CCSD is now hosting a Facility Master Plan community forum. So they're starting this new initiative called the Facility Master Plan, and that's where they're just putting together ideas and just reworking what do school buildings, what do school curriculums look like in the next 5 years plus. As birth rates are going down, enrollments are going down, it's time to go back to the drawing board. So we're calling all of the community to come together, all hands on deck, to attend these community forums. If you have a kid attending CCSD schools, if you have a nephew or a niece, if you work in the CCSD, if you're a principal, if you're a teacher, all the things, like, we need your input. If you're a business owner and you are located next to a school, this may affect you as well. So please, please, please come down. There are meetings from now all the way through May 19th, and you are able to visit their website. The website is fmp.ccsd.net, and scroll down to the events calendar. You're able to see which meetings are being held in a location near you. CCSD goes all throughout Southern Nevada. So yes, we're going to be in Moapa, Laughlin, Boulder City, and the inner city. So you can look at that calendar right now and join a meeting. We're asking you to come out. And there's going to be free dinner. Free dinner provided.
Free dinner.
We are going to take care of you. Just come out. So that's what I got going on.
Okay, thank you, Kendra. And then I just wanted to go back to emphasize Sumnu's 20 years. Okay.
20 years.
And we're celebrating our groundbreaking today, and again, like, that means a lot to us because we've been a part of the company. How long? 6 years?
7 years this year.
7 years, 9 years with my family business.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just honoring to see the growth within each other, with our team too, because we've been locked in for a long time. And just to see the impact that we've had over the time that we've been with the community, even past that, because we're even learning new history about what Sumnu did before we even got into the family company. So it's just, I'm excited to see this, our new office. We're still in the community, which I love. That we're still in the community serving, and we're never leaving the valley. Sumnu's in the valley, okay?
And when we say we're still in the community, we are going to be in the historic West Side still. We are going to be off of Owens and J Street.
Yes.
Right by Doolittle, the park, the plazas, the churches. We still here. We're here now, and we're not leaving.
No time soon.
No time soon. But this is a great, exciting time. And this just shows, like, where we're going to go in the future. It's only up from here.
Literally. Like, we're not going nowhere else but up. So I'm excited, and I just can't wait to see what it looks like.
Yes.
And it's going to bring more people to the community, too, because we got some special features we can reveal later. But we got we got some new amenities too that's going to be really essential to the community. So it's not just a building of us just being there. We're bringing more impact with our building in the community. So I'm excited for the community to experience our office and just for us to bring more value to the community.
So stay tuned if you want to see what's going on. Just follow us on Instagram. It's at Sumnu Marketing, SUMNU Marketing, and our website, sumnumarketing.com. We got a lot cooking.
A new website too. Shout out to Lauren for our social media.
Yes.
She's been very helpful of our storytelling, our Sumnu story, history. So
Yeah. Well, thank you. Now we're going to go to our second segment. Our Someone Special. We have a very, very special guest for you, so stay tuned.
Yes, our special guest is Dr. Mary House with CHR Inc. And she's actually one of our clients too. And she's using our small business branding suite. And we help her brand her podcast, which is Talking Clean with Dr. Mary House. And she just brings light to the community about clean energy, like we're doing today, talking about clean energy with the things to look out for and how to do it. And we've helped her bring more awareness to our podcast. She has many subscribers on YouTube, and it was just fun to identify and work with her to build a personality for her podcast, because a lot of people just start a podcast with no substance. So it's been a journey working with her and to break it down and see what, bring that substance to life and actually see it into place, and seeing how successful her podcast has been. So I'm super honored to have her here today, and we could go into Talking Clean. We are back with Sumnu in the Valley. I hope everybody's having a great morning, because I know I am. Because I know the weather's feeling nice. I'm feeling good. We in April now. And today is Sumnu Marketing is groundbreaking is taking place. And we are also celebrating 20 years of business, serving the community, connecting with small business owners and also the nonprofits. And it's just been a wonderful journey that we've been on. So I'm just grateful that we are able to continue this movement, and I know the community feels what we're doing and they're being impacted as well by our efforts. So I'm just grateful to be here, and I'm grateful that we have a wonderful guest here too. And yeah, we're already in April, and Sumnu, we've been all over the valley. We had a busy month in March. It was Women's History Month. We had a ton of events. We had Vegas Chamber events, community events, and a lot of things that was taking place in the month of March. And we're going to be doing the same thing in April. So please visit our website and follow us on social media to keep up with all the things that Sumnu Marketing is doing. And just stay in the valley and stay in tune with us. So let's get into the icebreaker question. Cash, she came up with this question. She's not here, but she asked us, are you currently using clean energy or on a hunt for ways to make the energy you use clean? I don't know. I'm not personally. Because I'm still being educated on it. Also, sorry, let me tone it back. I'm just diving right in. Let me introduce you guys to Dr. Mary House. She's one of our Sumnu special guests on here today, and I'm very excited to bring her in this month to talk about clean energy. So that's where that question was stemming from. But before we get into that, would you like to introduce yourself to the listeners?
Well, thank you. First of all, it is really a pleasure being here this morning. It's always a pleasure having, I call young people around me. I just love the energy, it makes me think about when I was young. But I am Dr. Mary House, and I am the CEO and co-founder of CHR Inc., which actually stands for Caring, Helping, and Restoring Lives. And we've been around since 1996. We've helped people with employment and training. But in the last, I'll say 10 to 12 years, 14, I really launched out and started focusing on women who are survivors of domestic violence, as well as the environmental justice movement, because I found out communities of color, we did not understand what's been going on and the roots of what environmental justice is all about. So even when you opened up with the question or the icebreaker, you're like, I'm just finding out, right?
Right.
I'm on this journey. And you know what? That's what the average African American is. They're on a journey. They don't even know really that there is a movement and has been one for a minute. So I'm just excited to be here. Also, I am the First Lady of Mountaintop. So for people who hear my voice like, that voice sounds familiar. I am the First Lady of Mountaintop Faith Ministries. And, we've been here since 1990. So I'm just very just blessed to be here today.
You wear many, many hats.
Yes.
And the hat you got on right now is very cute. Yes. Well, so when I thought I was using clean energy or finding ways to save energy, I don't really know what that means. I try to find ways to recycle, I recycle, but I think that's not right, because I seen your podcast
with Republic Service.
Yes. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
I thought I was doing something.
I thought I was too, right? When it came to recycling, so that obviously is a whole lot to that whole recycling. And so since we're on that, just for those that are listening, what we learned on that particular episode was your water bottles or anything that you're putting in recycle, you really need to wash it out before you put it in, because it is going back to the landfills if it's not. And I'm thinking, wow, first of all, that was an aha, because who's washing out their water bottles? And then he said something about you need to scrunch it, or remember the bottles after that. I was like, I got to go back and rewatch that one all by itself, because it was so much information about recycling. But I think when it comes to clean energy, we are very limited to what clean energy is. But clean energy is everything about the environments that we live in, the communities. Most low income and disadvantaged communities of color are in high polluted areas. Their homes weren't built properly, so insulation or asbestos is in the ceiling. They're not sealed. So there's so much going on, and I can get into tips and all of that, but it's more than that. But then it's all about solar. I'll say for the average American, we're not necessarily in the geothermal and all of that stuff, but we kind of have an understanding of solar, but not understanding, especially in Nevada, where the sun is absolutely free. Okay, the energy is not, but but the sun is absolutely free. And when you can have something that powers your home that is generated by the sun alone, that's huge. So there's so many aspects, even into job creation, and I know I could just go on and on. There's so much to this world of environmental justice that it is amazing, and it just struck an interest in me long time ago. And if I can give a backdrop, the reason why I said, people ask me, how did you get into this clean energy space?
I was definitely about to ask, 'cause I'm like, you are the lady at mountaintop. I'm like, how did that align?
What is so crazy, Amari, is that back in 1982, my husband and I were struggling, young couple. We were in an apartment. We were living in Fresno. And did you live in Fresno? Yeah. Anyhow, I call it the big no.
Yes, definitely.
Jesus, I'm so glad he delivered me from that. I promise you. So we're living in this apartment, and like Vegas, Fresno gets extremely hot.
Yeah.
And when it's extremely hot, like Vegas, the power grid sometimes shuts down. And on this particular night, the power grid went down, so there was no air. So all of us came out of our apartments. You had your little seats that you have on that you go to the stadium with. And we were sitting outside, but I'm looking across. Oh, I need to talk in there. I was looking across, and my manager's apartment was lit up. And I went, okay, so to know who I am, I'm full of questions, right? I'm very curious. So I walked over to his apartment and knocked on his door, and I said, why is your lights on and ours is not? Is there a privilege to being a manager? Because then I want to be a manager, right? That's how I looked at it. And he said, no. He said, my apartment is being powered by solar. I have a solar battery, a generator. He had a generator. And he showed me this little generator that has stored the power. It kept on his lights, his refrigerator, his TV. So he was in full operation. And he did this all himself. That began my curiosity about what is this to this solar, right? There's something out there that we're not taking advantage of. And back then, that was 1982.
Wow, in an apartment. I always thought you only had to have a house to use solar.
He had, how apartments, if you're getting your own, and I see these at apartments all the time, like you have DirecTV or you have Cox. Every apartment might have their own little dish.
Yeah.
Well, in an apartment, you could have a small solar panel if you really wanted one. As long as it had access to the sun with a backup battery or a generator that was doing well. Because he was the manager, he had access to put the panel on top of the building. So that was the difference in us doing it. But so he had it on the top, and it generated the power for that. But there's so many ways around being able to access solar without having to pay a whole lot of money. You just have to know how to do it. And so that began my journey, which even made me think about just digging more deeper. And as I dug deeper, it created this journey, because I grew up poor in Detroit, and I'm thinking, we never knew about this, in Michigan. What if I could be the conduit or the voice in our community saying, I need y'all to wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up. There's ways we can do things. We always talk about how poor we are, or how the struggle is real. The struggle is real. You're not supposed to say that in a minute.
Yes.
But let's talk about, let's not let it be so real. Can we balance this thing out? Some things you can't change, but there are certain things within your power that if you choose to, it doesn't have to be so hard.
Right. I like that because I didn't know I need to know all that. And that's important because it's like it's making your environment safer and you're saving money. And I know you talk a lot on saving money when it comes to energy and things like that. So with you having this business and being in the ministry, what have you seen that that relates to like running your business with both?
You know what? Ministry is about serving people, and CH&R is about serving people.
Yeah.
The difference is when we came here, what my husband and I really decided to do was keep the church business, but then open up a 501c3 that would be community based.
Yeah.
And that's how we went into CH&R, so that then I can get grants and funding through CH&R, and the church could keep moving on, doing what they're doing without commingling them. And so it's just another way to serve. Because even under the church banner, my title there is not necessarily First Lady, it's Community Liaison. So I wear two hats when I'm doing in the community, but my main hat is for CH&R. It's because that's our community. I think that churches, as well as some community organizations who say they help, are really not serving the people. And we've gotten away from serving to how much money can I get, blah. And, I was telling my husband, we were talking yesterday, and I said, when Jesus was talking to the disciples or the people, and he was saying, when I was sick, did you feed me? When I was in prison, did you come visit me? When I was hungry, did you feed me? And I said, we forget. And they said, well, when did we do that? And he says, well, when you did it to the least of them, you've done it unto me. And I have a heart that I remember where I come from. And I know the journey wasn't easy getting to where I'm at today. But when you've always been the underdog, or people have always looked you over because you were in the class that the other affluent people or whatever were, I just look for the underdog. And so that's just my mom and me. I will always have that because that's how I was raised. But my heart just cries out that our people don't understand the voice we really do have. And if we would use our voice properly, as the congressman who's deceased now, and I can't think of his name right now, he said, we need some good trouble going on, right? Okay. And that's what we need some good trouble going on. But as a people, we're not even doing as involved as we should be right here in Nevada.
So that's the birth of CHR. Wow.
Yeah.
What is like the first thing that you noticed that people are unaware about energy?
And you know what? I'm going to say...
Just like the basic thing.
The basic thing.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about... This is what we don't understand, and which is within our homes. Homes are not regulated, first of all. Homes are not regulated. So there's so much wrong in our homes, okay? Or so much unhealthiness. And one of the things that really sparked me as I was in this journey as an African-American who used a gas stove, because you have gas and you have electric, right?
Yep.
And most of us, communities of color, black and brown, both, we love our gas stoves. Shoot, girl, don't mess with me because that it just cooks differently, right? It just cooks differently.
I'm one of those.
But when I discovered that the gas that we're using is directly related to respiratory diseases, I went, Jesus help the city, right? Okay. Lord, and I remember being on this Zoom call, with other people, and they were talking about it, and I said, first of all, black folks, because that's who I'm going to speak for, we ain't giving up no gas stove. We just going to go to heaven with our respiratory diseases. What is the alternative? That's when they told me about induction cooktops. And so I would tell the community, let me tell you something. Y'all buy what you want to buy. You do what you want to do. But you really need to go to, and I'm not getting paid for this, so let me just say this. This is not paid advertisement. Go to someplace like Amazon or Kia, I think even Costco. They have like a little tabletop induction cooktop. And what induction does is, as long as a magnet can fit underneath your pot, it will heat your pot. But there's no gas, and it's not an electrical with the coils, so it's safer, it's cleaner, and it's healthier. I literally put out my gas stove,
really,
and put a full induction cooktop in my kitchen.
Wow. And we can't say prices, so
right,
y'all just gotta do y'all research.
Yep, you're just gonna have to say it's just under the top, the just regular tabletop is usually under $100. That's all I'm gonna say. It's under 100. But I got the whole thing, and long and short, changed my life.
Wow.
But I think that we don't understand the health issues, and when you look at health issues that are attached to what we're cooking every day, and how it's affecting our children. And our children are missing school, which means most people are single parent, your average house, single parent mom, which mom's got to stay home. What is she doing? Missing money. So now economically, it's hurting us more than just the energy. It's all about economics. It's about medical expenses. It's about medication and all that, loss of work and all that. So what if you just turned off the gas and bought you that little tabletop and start using it? It'll clean out your house. Open your windows. Because what happened, Amari, I thought, what do we say? If you have a gas leak, what do they tell you? Turn off your gas, shut your gas off, go find your gas. First of all, most people don't even know where to shut off the valve at, number one. Number two, they say open the doors because it's fumes, so it's not healthy. When you're being told you got to open the door to let out unhealthy fumes, and you got to turn off your gas, and then you wonder, you're coughing, your kid got asthma, I can't breathe. When are we going to wake up and say, you know what, we need to change this? That's something very small, but it's every day. And the Lung Association even did a case study on it. So the American Lung Association did a case. But are we listening? No. Wow. We love that gas. We love that gas. But ladies and gentlemen, my people, please hear my heart. Let's wake up and let's live longer and healthier. But it really comes by us making some things that we can control. We can control that.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I think I am trying to find ways too. Even the cooking utensils. Me and my fiance, we were like, we need to change the what's the unhealthy one? Is it stainless steel?
No,
the
plastic.
The plastic.
The plastic is always unhealthy.
That one, and it was another, I forgot. But we were looking into, say for granite or something, or I'm gonna look into that induction thing.
Yeah, look into the induction, and it's worth it. And just start with the tabletop. I tell people that's the least expensive way. Just start with the tabletop. You'll see you can cook some, cause y'all, I understand I cook, so you can cook beans, you can fry your chicken in there, you can make your spaghetti, make your smothered chicken. You can go, let me just say that, I'm going to plug it now. You can go to CHNR Inc.'s YouTube channel, look at some of my videos. I got a video how to make spaghetti on an induction cooktop, as well as some smothered chicken, right? And if you got a cast iron, most of us got cast iron, put some cornbread, all that.
And I love your podcast because you make that topic, talking about clean energy, interesting. I didn't think I was gonna watch it, but I'm like, wow, this is great. I wouldn't sit and watch, search up clean energy, but you make it so fun and educational. I'm like, oh wow, this is something I do need to know about. I'm going to watch it. And you brought in these great people to talk about clean energy jobs, to talk more about that. I thought that was great. Can you emphasize on that for the listeners?
Yeah, well, I have a podcast. Again, go to YouTube or even on my Facebook, CHNR Inc. But my YouTube channel, it's called Talking Clean with Dr. Mary House. And it says, just remember to think clean. Think green while you're talking clean. Okay, so if you can do that, what did I just say? Remember to think green while you keep talking clean. And so I have several guests. I had the Workforce Connection, as you talked about, with public service. I even had a young lady come and talk about our utility bill. But with that, there's so many people that I have had on that on the podcast that will be amazing. Again, it's Talking Clean with Dr. Mary L. House. I even want to hear, what do you want to hear about when it comes to clean energy? Like, Amaya, you're saying, I didn't know where to start. Tell me what you want to hear, and I'll cover that on that podcast because it's important. I'm reaching our community. Right now, I'm just covering things that I know you probably don't even know about, but you need to hear.
Exactly.
Okay.
You just been sharing everything I did not know about. And you did mention like a few ways to make clean energy affordable, and how can we continue to push for that for low income households?
Well, you know what? Let's start with washing clothes.
Oh.
All right. Something as simple as wash your clothes in cold water.
Cold water.
Cold water.
I always did hot.
Yeah, hot puts a usage. Makes your usage higher on your utility bill.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Cold water. If you got the right detergent, use some OxyClean, right? Put it in there. Cold water really works. And even for your whites, we've been taught you need hot water. No, do that. And then after you wash your clothes, for those that can, hang out as much as you can. Let it air dry. You'd be surprised what good. And what I do, and I let it air dry. And then once it's dry, the next day, I just take a dryer sheet and put it on air fluff. So it fluffs it, so it's not crunchy. Because when you put it on, everybody like, I don't want no crunchy clothes. Right? I can already hear, I don't want no crunchy clothes. When you put stuff on the clothesline, it's crunchy. Air fluff it, okay? With a dryer, softener. And shake it out. It'll be just good. Those are things. Make sure you're cleaning that filter. I had someone literally who was renting an apartment, and she didn't know. I don't know why people don't know, but you need to clean that filter after every time when you're in your dryer. Yes. Clean the filter. Do you realize if you don't, it can cause a fire?
Yes, I know that.
Okay, but people don't. She found out after she had a fire.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then that made me red flag. That's something you can do. You know what you can do. Look at going to programs. I know NV Energy has a free home energy audit you can get. You can go to their website and let them come through. They're going to give you some LED bulbs. They're going to do it's not going to be detailed, but it'll be enough. And weatherize your windows. Seal your windows and your doors. Do you know you're losing? It's hot. So when the air conditioning unit comes on, it's hot. Clean your coils in your refrigerator. If you don't know, Google what your kind of refrigerator is, find out where the coils are at, and clean those coils so your refrigerator is not running. So, it's like, help me!
Okay, I get it.
Stuff that we can do that brings your usage down, because what makes your utility bill so high is the usage that you're doing. So those are like things you can really do. NV Energy has a program that they have a smart thermostat. I have all this stuff. Let me just tell y'all, It's free. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, it's free. My brothers and my sisters, it's free. Get the stuff that's free. Help of Southern Nevada has a weatherization program. You can call them and tell them you would like your home weatherized. And there are things you can get. And certain things are going to be absolutely free based on your income, right? Come on. But what does it do? It brings that utility bill, that usage down, which is going to bring your utility bill down. Which, what does that do? Help your bottom line. So sometimes these are kind of things we're not thinking about. But these are like little quick, simple stuff. I was trying to see if I could think shower heads, changing your shower heads. But when you ain't got no money, to change it out. So I'm right. I'm gonna be honest, I'm just being real. But if you got programs that are gonna help you, reach out to those programs and they'll do it for you free. I have members of my church who've taken advantage of even NV Energy has a program where it's appliance replacement. And I think if the appliance, and go look at it, but I think it's 12 years. If that appliance is going out, they'll replace it free of charge.
Nice. Can they do the same thing? Can these same resources be for your business, if those that own their business
It's residential right now.
Oh.
Okay. But you know what? You can ask. I've never asked for a business, but but you can do the same tips for your home can be for your business as far as your sealing, any kind of leaks. Making sure filters are changed. So stuff on your air conditioning units. For business, all day, every day, changing out your lighting and make sure they're LED lights, because lights put out a whole lot of energy. All of that stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, I kind of want to go into the jobs, more back into the jobs. Like, what are some examples of clean energy jobs that out there?
The electrical union, and I'm gonna say this, anyhow, that you need to have take a test to go to the electrical union. You need to ask them if you're going to struggle with that. That you need tutoring so that you can pass the test, so you can become electrical in the electrical field. But heat and air. But you know what people don't think about? People who have solar panels, who's cleaning them? That ain't no major skill set. Look up companies that are looking for employees to clean solar screens. What about the charging stations that are going up all over everywhere?
Yep.
Who's servicing those charging stations for electric cars? And I'm thinking, these are low-bearing fruit, right? I'm not talking about you don't need a degree for that, right?
Yeah.
You don't need a degree. You just need somebody to train you in this skill set, and then how to do when you're doing plumbing. Like when I did my induction, that's plumbing, So, what do you do to make sure you put that stuff together? Because people will be converting. How do you do solar installations? Who's installing solar units? Panels, I should say. Get into that. Who is maintaining the battery storages?
I'm not even thinking about that.
See, you're gonna be like,
I'm being honest.
Simple thing. Those are simple things that don't require a degree, but we're not even offered that type of opportunity. And I think sometimes we're trying to look at the big jobs. Okay, yeah, you would love a union job, prevailing wage and all that. But what if you don't pass that test? And then they don't help you because there are not a lot of blacks in that arena because we're not passing the test. And they're not giving us the help we need. And that's a whole nother story at a whole nother day. But, that's a whole nother podcast. Or why won't they help us pass these tests to get these prevailing wage jobs in these unions and these skills? See, my husband's a contractor. His dad had 5 boys, and he poured cement. Do you know you will never get a machine to pour cement? Wow. My husband could pour some cement to this day. They was 10 years old carrying sacks. Now they got, other help. But he also became a framer. So you could go into housing and learn how to be a framer. He started, just as a laborer and ended up a journeyman, learning how to do that. So there's things that we could start. I just think that our people are so doggone intelligent.
Yes, absolutely.
They are so intelligent that they need to come on and use that brain that God gave you and say, if you don't understand it, pray about it. Watch God help you get that. Sometimes it's just discipline and telling yourself, I can, I can, and do it. I don't believe it's nothing that nobody can't do if they put their mind to it.
I believe that. Yes, thank you for that. What is the single biggest opportunity for clean energy in Nevada right now?
Really, solar.
The solar?
I just got solar on my home the end of last year, and the drastic drop in my utility bill in 1 month was huge. And my husband was like, "You telling me our whole house is being powered by a God-given source?" And I said, "Absolutely." But we're not understanding that you can even lease it. If you can't afford to buy, lease. The Nevada Clean Energy Fund has a program where you can lease solar panels, and then after it's like a lease option, and then you can end up owning them. So people who would like to lease, I'm going to put it out there, the Nevada Clean Energy Fund, and I work with them very closely. They have leasing programs, and so I think that's the number one thing we can look at, that and getting you an electric car.
Electric car. I was a little hesitant because I'm like, dang, I gotta sit and wait for this car to charge up. I gotta go.
You know what? Well, I put a charge. I have an electric car. I've had one pre-COVID. And I got a Hyundai. So people are like, you didn't get a Tesla? No. First of all, I wanted to show people that an everyday car could work. And so I bought this Hyundai, and I had immediately, because we own our home, I had a charging station or a charger put in my garage. I've never used one of them places, so I charge it overnight. Yeah, I don't know what it means to go to the charger station. I don't. I think you need to invest in that, or if you're in an apartment and you can't, then it takes about 30 minutes. To get the supercharger, maybe an hour, whatever. Girl, get your book. Look, I'm an advocate on audiobooks. I learn if I sit here, I'm gonna be learning something.
Right.
So make it useful if you've got to. But if you think about the cost, it's all electric, so you don't have any maintenance as far as no oil and lube change, no engine problems, no transmission problems, right? Gasoline, just total up what you spend in gasoline in a year. Case closed. I didn't say you can drop the ball, but I won't say do something I haven't done. Like I said, I'm driving an electric car. I'm total electric. I promise you, I don't ever see myself going back to a gas car. And then people are always like, "Oh, gas is high." My daughter has a gas car. She's like, "Mama, can I drive your car?" No.
Maybe you mentioned them gas prices.
And they keep going. They go down, and then we got a war now. So guess what? They back up. I don't even know. I don't even know what gas prices are because I don't have to go to the gas station.
You don't want to know. It's basically another bill.
Yeah. So you have to weigh out. I'm very budget oriented. And so, I look at bottom lines. Okay, is this more cost effective? And if this is more cost effective, I'm going to do what's more cost effective. I'm not giving anybody no more money than they need to have. That's just where I'm at. Okay. Yeah. And the older I get, I'm not giving nobody no more money than what I need to at this point in my life. Okay.
I know that's right. Because everything's way too high. So what does clean energy mean for everyday utility bills?
It means first of all, it means lowering your energy bill. But to me, because everybody's talking about affordability.
Yep.
So affordability is huge. But what money can't buy is health. And good health, clean energy gives you a better, healthier lifestyle. And I think you can't put money on that. Nope. There's no cost for that. And when you talk about gas and gas, when they say it's natural gas, it's not natural, it's fossil fuel, that means it's not good for you. But when you switch to making sure things are energy efficient and they're clean, you're creating not just a good place for you, but for your community and for the world. Look at the climate changes. And people could talk about whatever they want to say, but you cannot say you're going to ignore the fires that happened in California, the floods that are happening, the hurricanes, the tornadoes that are going through our country. Hawaii just had a huge flood. They've not had something like that in years. I don't know if they've ever had it where, most of the islands have been affected. You're not going to tell me that's not climate change? We've got, up in Iceland where the ice birds they're just melting. Our nature is telling us something. They're saying we need help. We need you all to think about us. What's going on? So what is it? It's so much healthier. First of all, again, it's affordable, but it's healthier, and we're keeping a safer planet for the next generation. And I think we have to think about legacy. And when you don't think about legacy, then you don't care about tomorrow, but I do. And whether I'm here or not, I hope, I leave a healthier, cleaner a mark on the community in which I live about let's wake up. And I'm going to keep saying that. Let's wake up and let's stop talking about it and let's do it.
I'm glad you bring in the health aspect because I didn't tie those together till now. So can you go more deep into the health benefits of clean energy?
Well, first of all, like when I talked about gas stoves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you have an unclean or an unsafe home, and you got all these diseases that come along with that, if you remove that, you get a better health, right?
Yep.
I think about something as simple as walking. If I'm in a community and my community is so polluted because there's not enough trees that are giving me shade and providing the oxygen and plants, and I'm walking in this community and it's still unhealthy, I'm walking because the doctor said I need to walk, walking is good, you need to do 2-3 miles, but I'm breathing bad air. What about that?
Yep.
We talk about COVID and it's a airborne disease. So what are we going to do about it? How are we going to make these things that it doesn't affect us? To me, I'm just saying it's so much bigger than what we think. And if we would just stop and slow down and read the facts, and if we would pay or research clean energy like we are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all that other stuff, and X, if we would get off of that and learn something about what's good for my health, it would be amazing. Can you imagine the shift that starts happening in our communities, that now we're healthier? I'm 68 years old. I'll be 69 this year. And I'm saying this is what you look like. Next year, y'all be 70. I keep telling people, next year I'll be 70.
What?
Jesus, help me, Lord. But I've been intentional about what I eat, what I do, and everything. Because you know what? There used to be a cosmetic company that I don't think they were expensive. It was called L'Oreal,
Yeah.
And L'Oreal's slogan used to be, it was because I'm worth it. I just think that what you do for yourself, you are worth it. And when you don't value who you are and this temple that you are in every single day, and what your environment is and what you put in it, it's going to affect you.
And that's important because when you're like healthy, you're able to show up for things like this, being on this interview with us on this radio show. You can show up for your church, you can show up for your business, you can show up for your family. And I don't think people need to take that more seriously with that.
And I think you're absolutely, because what is it, the United Negro College Fund says a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And we're wasting it on the wrong stuff. But you got to feed this brain. I believe that our brain, this is just my philosophy, is a computer, babe. And if you have a computer and you load it up with the software is there. You may not know how to use it, but it's loaded. So when you're ready to learn, and you take a course on it, if you put into your brain, just load it up. So then when God wants to take you somewhere and put you somewhere, then you're ready for it, and you can have information that is not false. I will say, I wrote a quote. Dr. Martin Luther King said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." And so I think that we talk about Martin Luther King, but we don't even understand that Dr. Martin Luther King, part of the Civil Acts right, was about environmental justice.
Wow.
And I did a podcast on that, on Black advocates.
You did.
I did. Remember?
You had different people on there. I remember. Yes.
You did. And so go on my podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Talking Clean with Dr. Mary L. House on YouTube, CHNR Inc. And I just think that I didn't know Dr. King was standing for that until I started researching. Again, I'm just researching stuff. And I thought, this thing goes back to the early 60s.
Wow.
That was huge, and I'll just say, since I'm talking history, since I love history, in 1991, there was the first National People of Color Environmental Leadership Summit in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Leaders, including this woman named Dr. Beverly Wright, which was a Black woman, drafted the 17 principles of environmental justice, and is used still globally today.
Wow.
It is huge. That's like, you know what? We've been so much a part of this. Didn't even know.
I didn't.
And again, why didn't you know? Because we're not having these discussions. And so again, thank you for having me on this podcast, because I know, this is going to get out. And if you want to know more, just follow me. Follow CHNR Inc. I promise you all, I want to hear from you too. I want to know what you don't know and what things you really want to know more about. And I'm loving these questions because you're asking me what the everyday person is going to ask me that's in the community.
Yes.
I love that.
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth. Absolutely.
We need to get into that more. Is there anything else that you want to leave with the listeners about clean energy?
Well, you know what? I do want to say this. So, I believe you always give people a call to action. And so the call to action to me, first of all, is to go subscribe to my channel, CHNR Inc. on YouTube, Talking Clean with Dr. Mary House. But I also want you to, as you're following me, is listen for the Public Utility Commission's public comment. And you be present. Most of the time, it's at 6 p.m. And it is on the other side of town, because if you live on the west side, I'm going to tell you, carpool over there.
Yep.
Okay. When legislation is coming up and there are bills that are going to affect your utility bills or clean energy, you need to be sitting in the audience and giving public comment on the do's and don'ts, or the whys or why not, or I'm supporting or I'm not supporting. We are in an election year. Look at what people stand for when it comes to clean energy, and say if you want to vote for them or not. Because I think that we have to vote and put people in office who are going to fight for us. And so that is my call to action. And my young people, you're my next generation. I would love for you to come on board and get to know about what's going on in the clean energy world. Study environmental justice and get involved. And let's help our community be healthier, cleaner, and safer. Because you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I am here to be a voice crying in the wilderness for you. So just let me know what you want me to cry about, and I'm gonna tell them. All right.
One last question: what gives you the most optimism about Nevada's energy future?
The sun. That's something nobody can destroy because God made it.
Yes.
And so I'll say, you know what? We will always have the sun. We're in a desert. It's not going anywhere. Which means everything that can be solar powered or powered by the sun is clean and it's free and it's healthy and it's safe. That's what makes me so excited, because man can't control that. So God gave us this SUN that nobody can do nothing about but him.
I know that's right. Well, thank you, Dr. Mary House, for sitting with us at Sumnu in the Valley, and it was a pleasure speaking with you and learning about all this. Y'all, I don't even know what to say. It was just so much stuff I didn't know.
Wow.
And I'm glad that the listeners are here to listen and get all this knowledge from you, because this is definitely, like you said, something we need to have more conversations about, and we need to talk as a community about this. So I'm going to close it out with thank you guys for listening in Sumnu in the Valley, and we are here next month, same time, same place, on KCP Power 88, the first Monday of every month at 10:30 to 11:30. Don't forget to tune in and follow us on social media, Sumnu Marketing on all platforms, and tune into this great discussion that we just had, and always keep updated with us. So, again, I'm your host, Amaya, and thank you for joining us today.